night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. But when I woke, dear, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and I cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. But if you leave me and love another, you'll regret it all someday. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You told me once, dear, you really loved me, and no one could come between. But now you've left me to love another. You have shattered all of my dreams. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. In all my dreams, dear, you seem to leave me. When I awake, my poor heart pains. So won't you come back and make me happy? I'll forgive, dear, I'll take all the blame. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
On behalf of Heather and the family, I warmly welcome you and thank you for gathering here today to honour and remember Don. My name is Delma Carpenter, and along with Simon and the staff at Parkside Funerals, we thank you for giving us the honour of being part of Don's farewell. Thank you. Also, a welcome to those unable to be here and are joining us by live stream. Welcome. Don passed away on the first day of November, and we come together with mixed emotions: sadness at saying goodbye, gratitude for his life, and relief that his long struggle with illness has come to an end. Though we knew Don's health had been declining for some time, It's never easy to say goodbye. No amount of time really prepares us for that final farewell. Today is a time to remember Don as he was, strong-willed, hard-working, straightforward and fiercely determined. A man who said what he thought and meant what he said. He lived life on his own terms, never one to compromise. It was, as we all know, Don's way or the highway. Don had a personality that left an impression on everyone he met. He was firm and could be hard at times, but he was also loyal, dependable, and a man who valued honesty. You always knew where you stood with him. He had a sharp wit and a sense of humour that could catch you off guard, and he loved to take the mickey out of people, often with a cheeky grin and a glint in his eye, especially after a beer or two or three. Beneath that tough exterior was someone who cared deeply, even if he didn't always show it in words. His way of loving was practical, lending a hand where he could, helping out quietly, doing rather than saying. Don was definitely stubborn and persistent, and once he put his mind to something, there was no stopping him. Whether it was fixing a piece of machinery or sorting out a problem, he'd keep at it until it was done, no matter how challenging it was. And that was a determination, was part of what defined him, and something his family will always remember with both admiration and affection. Let's now take a look at Don's life. Donald George Bakes was born to Walter and Hannah Bakes and was their 7th child and one of their 13 children. Walter, Mervyn, Geoffrey, Stanley, Ethel, Kenneth, Winifred, who are all deceased, and he's survived by Enid, Raymond, Aubrey, Kathleen and Robert. The family lived in a 2-bedroom house in Hampshire for all of Don's younger years. The girls had a bedroom inside and the boys slept outside in the shed. Don and his family grew up right beside the local school, quite literally, as the school was just over the fence from the family home, and it became well known that young Don often found that fence a bit too convenient. Whenever school lost its charm, which was fairly often, he'd simply jump the fence and head home to be with his mum. You could say Don was a bit of a mummy's boy, and he never really denied that either. Over the years, Don would tell stories from his younger days, the kind that made people shake their heads and laugh. There were the tales of riding blind horses, crashing cars, and being the last man standing after a big night out. His brother Ray confirmed that the famous old grey mare Don rode really did only have one eye. Somehow Don managed to survive both the horse and the hangovers that came with those wild younger days. Don and his brother Stan shared a real knack for mechanics. They could lift a motor out of a car, pull it apart, fix it and have it back together and running by the end of the day. Nobody quite knew where all the spare parts came from, but between the two of them, they could fix just about anything that had an engine. If it didn't run, Don and Stan would make sure that it did. The family also shared a love of music. Between the guitar, flute, accordion, and even the spoons, there was always a tune in the air. Don's instrument of choice was the accordion, and he and Stan would often play together around the open fire while the gramophone played in the background. Those were simple times, just filled with laughter, stories and music. Now there was one thing that Don hated, and that was football. But every Saturday people would roll in with a carton of beer on their shoulder to watch the game, and somehow they'd still be there long after the final siren, some of them even asleep on the floor till the next morning. Don might not have loved the footy, but he certainly loved a beer, James Bowe being his lifelong best mate. Wherever Don went, James wasn't far behind, to work, to bed, just about anywhere. When he had a hangover and James Bogues was not his favourite friend, Don had a secret cure, his famous egg flip. 1 large glass of milk, a raw egg, a dash of Worcestershire sauce, and drink it immediately. Or it would be curdly. Oh. In his younger years, Don worked on the railway alongside his dad, whose nickname was Area 6. Later, he went on to work with Jack Barrett at his sawmill. Jack had a daughter named Heather, and one day he said he was going to bring home a nice young man for her to meet. You could say the rest was history. Don and Heather married in 1964 and built a life together and raised 4 children, Sharon, Mervyn, Leanne and Darren, making their home in Upper Natone. That home would remain their forever home for 47 years before Don moved into care in 2013. Over the years, Don worked hard and turned his hand to many jobs. At the Savage River Mines, driving trucks for Joe Fagan, Ken Hennessy, Bern Smith and the Hydro. He also worked at different sawmills. Later on, he spent a lot of time woodcutting, something that quickly became a family affair. Every Saturday, the whole family would pile into the truck and head out to cut, split and stack wood. The kids would ride home sitting on the load, and when they got home, the stacking had to be done straight away before anything else. Don made sure of that. To this day, the kids can all stack wood the Don way, neat, tight, straight, and just right. Of course, Don's life wasn't without a few misadventures. His brother Ray recalled one night when Don, after a few too many at the pub, realised the police were around, and to avoid them he climbed under his truck and hid on the tail shaft until the coast was clear, then drove home as if nothing had happened. Then there were plenty of stories like cars ending up in the bushes, Constable West from the Wivenhoe police station keeping an eye out to make sure he got home safely, and the odd bicycle trip that turned into an odyssey. Don once rode his old push bike from Upper Natone to Burnie, returning home via Hampshire to have a beer with his brother, of course, getting home late, much to Heather's worry. When Don moved into Yamuna Park in 2013, his personality didn't soften one bit. The staff there have plenty of stories about him and his colourful language, and for today, that colourful language will say fire truck instead. So Don was known to say, "Shut the fire truck door," or "What do you fire truck want?" And "Get me out of here, those fire trucking people don't know what they're doing." One carer even admitted that the only way she could get Don into the shower was by swearing at him, though she did have to explain that to her boss later. And on night shifts, he'd pull the sheets up over his head and scare the life out of the staff by yelling boo when they came in to check on him. A highlight for Don when he was at Yamuna was when he got to meet country and western star Chad Morgan. That was certainly a highlight for him. Even in his final days, Don was still asking to go woodcutting and to the pub, 2 of his favourite things. Don was many things. He lived his life his way, never one to pretend or apologise for who he was. He was one of a kind, character through and through. We're now going to see some visual memories of Don while listening to some of his favourite music.
Oh yeah, it's a long straight road and the engine is deep. I can't help thinking of a good night's sleep, and the long, long roads of my life are a-calling me. These rough old hands are glued to the wheel, my eyes full of sand from the way they feel, and the lights coming over the hill are a-blinding me. It's a long, tough haul from away down south. A man's gotta find a little bread for his mouth and a home for a girl as sweet as my honey can be. So it's down through the gears, she's a-starting to pull. The gauge on the tank is a-showing near full, and the lights coming over the hill are a-blinding me. There's rain on the road, now I can feel the load start a-shifting in a dance. Too late I see the post and I haven't got a ghost of a chance. Oh no, the windscreen wipers are a-beating in time. The song they sing is a part of my mind, and I can't believe it's really happening to me. Oh, but I'm over the edge and down the mountainside. I know they'll tell about the night I died in the rain when the lights on the hill were a-blinding me. Hey! I can feel the load start a-shifting in a dance. Too late to see the post and I haven't got a ghost of a chance. Oh no, the windscreen wipers are a-beating in time. The song they sing is a part of my mind, and I can't believe it's really happening to me. Oh, but I'm over the edge and down the mountainside. I know they'll tell about the night I died in the rain when the lights on the hill were a-blinding me. In the rain when the lights on the hill were a-blinding me. Oh, it's a lonesome away from your kindred and all, by the campfire at night, where the wild dingoes call. But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. Now the publican's anxious for the quota to come, and there's a faraway look on the face of the bum. The maid's gone all cranky and the cook's acting queer. Oh, what a terrible place is a pub with no beer. Then the stockman rides up with his dry, dusty throat. He breasts up to the bar and pulls a wad from his coat. But the smile on his face quickly turns to a sneer as the barman says sadly, the pub's got no beer. Then the swaggy comes in, smothered in dust and flies. He throws down his roll and rubs the sweat from his eyes. But when he is told, he says, "What's this I hear? I've trudged 50 layman miles to a pub with no beer." Now there's a dog on the veranda, for his master he waits, but the boss is inside, drinking wine with his mates. He hurries for cover and he cringes in fear. It's no place for a dog round a pub with no beer. And old Billy the blacksmith, the first time in his life, why, he's gone home cold sober to his darling wife. He walks in the kitchen, she says, "You're early, Bill dear." But then he breaks down and tells her the pub's got no beer. Oh, it's hard to believe that there's customers still, but the money's still tinkling in the old ancient till. The Wyandottes are happy, and I know they're sincere when they say they don't care if the pub's got no beer. So it's a lonesome away from your kindred and all, by the campfire at night, whate'er the wild ingles call. But there's a nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of that pub with no beer.
Please don't take my sunshine away. Can you sing it by yourselves? You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Beautiful. You make me happy when skies are gray. Beautiful. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. One more time. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never
Oh, I need some sugar. Can I have a bit of sugar, please?
I'm just a lovely man. I'm loved by the poor and the wealthy, loved by the good and the bad, loved by the fat and the skinny, because I'm a lovely old lad. It's a dangerous game I'm playing. You've got to be quick to last. When you're at the wrong end of a shotgun, you run quick or off the full blast. You'll never see me linger where there are sour tarts, and you can tell where I have been by the trail of broken hearts. So parents do take warning and heed what I say. Keep your daughters out of sight when I come round your way. They say I'm just like Casanova, I drink, I smoke, I swear. They say I'm the sheep of Scrubby Creek, but I don't care. All together now, Ronnie.
Don wasn't going to sing with anybody else, but he certainly wanted to sing with Chad Morgan. I'd now like to invite the family forward, and they're going to share with us some tributes and stories of their dad.
Hello everyone, I'm Donnie's granddaughter Susan, or as he used to call me, Susie Wong. Heather and Donnie raised me from age 4. Growing up with Pop meant 5 a.m. wake-ups with the wood heater being filled with and the radio blaring 7BU. Absolutely no chance of a sleep-in if you thought so. Most weekends were spent wood cutting, filling up our shed out the back, or being loaded back onto the truck to sell. Camping and fishing was some other activities that he enjoyed, although if he didn't catch a fish in a short space of time, he would say, "No fucking fish here, let's go home." If ever I got a scratch or a bite, his go-to fix for it was always metho. Boy, did that stuff sting. Pop loved playing cards. His favourite game to play with me was very one-sided, was 52 pickup. He thought it was hilarious. I have this memory once of me slamming the back door, and he said, "Now open and shut that 100 times without slamming it." I got to 99 and slammed it again. A voice from the lounge yelled, "Think you better start again." Pop had this crazy idea to save fuel while driving to Burnie, and at the top of every hill, he would turn off the ute and let it roll until it came to a complete stop. And then he'd start up and do it again at the next hill, one of the longest trips I've ever had from up on a tone to Burnie. He wasn't a big fan of daylight savings and would never change his watch. I swear it was only so he could argue what the time was. Football was another thing he wasn't a big fan of, but in 1995 on grand final day, he said, "I'll go for Geelong, you go for the others." Geelong lost to Carlton, and that started my love of Carlton. Yep, that's your fault. In the recent times, my visits to Pop were on Saturdays after I'd done park runs. Some days he would recognise me straight away, and others unfortunately not. But our conversations would always make me laugh. While watching an episode of Storage Wars, I said, "Gee whiz, Pop, that one's as packed as your shed." He said, "Yep, I'm about to go and find another spot for a shelf." Another time he asked me to help get him up. I said that he was too heavy, but asked why he needed to get up. He said there's a car burnt out at Horseshoe Bend and he needed to go fix it. I asked how he was going to get it home, and he looked at me as if I was crazy and said, "With me truck." I'm so thankful that I got to share his final days with him and sit and sing his favourite songs to him and laugh about the good old days with Auntie Leanne and Auntie Sharon. I would like to thank Committal Park for the love and care that they've given Pop, and everyone for their love and condolences. But my biggest thank you goes to my Nan and Pop for raising me after you had already raised your own family. I have been told that I am persistent and determined, and I believe I get that from him. Gone from our sight, but never our hearts. Enjoy that beer with my dad. I love you, Pop.
So this one I'm reading on behalf of Dad. A couple of memories that will always stay with me. I used to be a pretty good runner back in my younger days, and this was all thanks to you, Dad. All the training that we'd done together, doing laps around the yard and the driveway on numerous occasions. I was too scared to slack off or give up because every time I looked back, you were still right behind me swinging that jug cord. It probably wasn't training, but it worked. I remember this one time myself, Michelle, Dad's little angel, Kalila, only about 12 months old, and Mum and Dad went to Lake Burberry for the weekend. Well, the first night in Burberry fashion, it absolutely pissed with rain, getting all of our stuff wet even inside the tent. The next morning, I somehow convinced Dad into going for a morning fish before we packed up. Everything was going fine. We were heading up through the gap in the Governor, a known fishing location for anyone that may not be a Burberry local. Rods out, beers in hand, when a massive hailstorm come through. I looked over at Dad a couple of times. He seemed fine until the hail had built up over halfway up the windscreen of the boat. He then turned to me and said, and I apologise for this language, "Turn this bloody thing around and get the fuck out of this kind of a place." Well, needless to say, that was the end of our fishing for a long time. Dad, yes, you were a hard man on me growing up, but what you have taught me along the way, your work ethic, your never give up attitude, your resilience to never let anything faze you, has got me to where I am now, and for that I thank you. I will forever treasure all the memories we had together. Rest in peace, Dad. Kick Mervin's ass for me when you find him, and I'll see you on the other side when I get there.
This one's from Auntie Sharon. A message to my dad. You are free, Dad. You can go cut all the wood you like, sell it and go to the nearest pub and have yourself a beer or 6. I will never stop loving you, always have and always will.
And this one's on behalf of Auntie Leanne. Dad, I don't know where to start, but here goes. You were always a no-nonsense type of dad. Us kids knew where our place was in our home. If you said no, we knew not to question why. Your rules rang loud and clear. No one dared to speak when the news was on or during dinner time. We all felt the quick, sharp impact of your steel-toe boot slipper, personalised cut stick, or the twist of our ear if we dared to disobey. As I grew older, you upped your rules. No makeup, shoulders had to be covered, socks up to my knees if I was wearing a dress. No sitting outside in cars with boys, and definitely no dates until I was 18. I can't say that I obeyed all of these rules, Dad, but I did try with most of them. You were far from religious, but you didn't take that choice away from us. Every Sunday, we were sent off to Sunday school while you had your Sunday school drink with your mates. Some of your most memorable attributes as we were growing up were you were a great first aider. When I got the darning needle stuck up in my foot, cotton and all, you pulled it out with your most trusting pair of pliers before pouring metho onto the wounds to kill any germs. The same thing when I cut my finger with the vegetable knife. It needed stitches, but again, metho and an abundance of Band-Aids did the trick. I was so relieved that Mum was home when I knocked my front teeth out. I didn't fancy gargling metho this time around. You were a straight shooter with a gun. You heard a noise in the ceiling one day, and just happening to have your gun handy after cleaning it in the lounge room and fully loaded, you picked it up and shot straight up, not even taking the time to aim straight. You then climbed up through the manhole into the ceiling cavity, coming back down a short time later holding a tiger snake. Mum wasn't very happy about the hole in the ceiling, but you catching the snake proved worthy of forgiveness. You were often up in the ceiling afterwards with buckets trying to stop water leaks. When I was getting married for the first time, we were driving to the church together. Just before arriving at the church, you said to me, "He's no good for you. Why don't we just go to the pub instead?" I replied, "Dad, we are already an hour late and everyone is waiting for us." You said, "Well, it's not going to last, so one drink won't hurt." You were right, of course, I should have listened. When I was walking down the aisle to get married this time, you yelled out and said, "It's not too late to run, Dennis." You then wished him luck instead of welcoming him into our family. Maybe Dennis should have listened this time, hey? I moved house many times in the first few years of moving out of home. You and Orb were always the first ones there with your trucks to pack me up and move me on to my next destination. It didn't matter where I moved to, you were always a regular visitor, usually in your beloved truck, and once on your antique push bike which you rode all the way from Upernatone, and never without a beer in hand. I have very fond memories of sitting on the floor, winding up the old gramophone, playing 78 records while you and Mum danced around the lounge room with friends. Riding in the open back of your old Land Rover after a snowfall, cooking tea and baking bread together while Mum was at work, cutting wood and having our annual school holiday camping trips to Larina. And I can't forget us 4 kids regularly laying down under a fastened tarp in the back of your old Holden ute riding to town, waiting under the tarp while you had a few beers in the pub before travelling to Tewkesbury to visit a mate before heading home again, usually late at night by this time. These memories and the time I got to spend sitting beside you in the last 2 weeks earthbound, I will cherish forever. Rest in peace, Dad. Until we meet again, I love you, Leanne.
Okay, this is a poem. The Ever Young Prankster. Another year, another grey, but our camping pop, pirate pop, popsicle, Poppy Bakes, you still led the way. The jokes you'd crack without missing a beat made us laugh so hard we'd nearly fall off our seats. With every year your shenanigans would never cease, forever young at heart, always up for a tease. Playing cards, fishing, camping, having a beer, for our favourite prankster, let's all have a cheer. Here's to the pop we all hold so dear, from Don's grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
And just one more poem from Leanne as well. What do you see, nurses? What do you see? What are you thinking when you're looking at me? A cranky old man, not very wise, uncertain of habit, with faraway eyes, who dribbles his food and makes no reply when you say in a loud voice, I do wish you'd try. Who seems not to notice the things that you do and forever is losing a sock or a shoe. Who, resisting or not, lets you do as you will, with bathing and feeding the long day to fill. Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you see? Then open your eyes, nurse, you're not looking at me. I'll tell you who I am as I sit here so still, as I do at your bidding, as I eat at your will. I am a small child of 10 with a father and a mother, brothers and sisters who love one another, a young boy of 16 with wings on his feet, dreaming that soon now a lover he'll meet. A groom soon at 20, my heart gives a leap, remembering the vows that I promised to keep. At 25 now, I have young of my own, who need me to guide and a secure, happy home. A man of 30, my young now grown fast, bound to each other with ties that should last. At 40, my young sons have grown and are gone, but my woman is beside me to see I don't mourn. At 50 once more, babies play round my knee. Again we know children, my loved one and me. For my young are all rearing the young of their own, and I think of the years and the love that I've known. I'm now an old man, and nature is cruel. It's just to make old age look like a fool. The body it crumbles, grace and vigour depart. There is now a stone where I once had a heart. But inside this old carcass a young man still dwells, and now and again my battered heart swells. I remember the joys, I remember the pain, and I'm loving and living life over again. I think of the years, all too few, gone too fast, and accept the stark fact that nothing can last. So open your eyes, people, open and see, not a cranky old man, look closer, see me.
Thank you, girls. We have another audio-visual presentation of Don's life.
Other shielders think I'm handsome, their fathers think I'm mad, their mothers think I'm a villain, but I'm just a lovable lad. I'm loved by the poor and the wealthy, loved by the good and the bad, loved by the fat and the skinny, because I'm a lovable lad. Now I've been chased by fathers with shotguns of all kinds, and you can tell where they have aimed by the marks that's left behind. I don't know why they do it, 'cause I'm not really bad. I just chase their daughters because I'm a lovable lad. It's a dangerous game I'm playing. You've got to be quick to last. When you're at the wrong end of the shotgun, you run quick or cop the full blast. You'll never see me linger where there are sour old tarts, and you can tell where I have been by the trail of broken hearts. So parents, do take warning and heed what I say. Keep your daughters out of sight when I come round your way. They say I'm just like Casanova, I drink, I smoke, I swear. They say I'm the sheik of Scrubby Creek, but I don't care.
We've done us proud to come this far, down through the years to where we are, side by side, hand in hand, we've lived and died for this great land. We've done us proud. I sailed the sea in search of freedom. I tilled the soil the sheep of golden fleeces. I formed a union to win fair pay. I built a railroad to cross the country. I fought a war for my country's sake. We've done us proud to come this far, down through the years to where we are, side by side, hand in hand. We've lived and died for this great land. We've done us proud. I kept a home and raised a family. I taught your children as if my own. I painted pictures to show the beauty. I wrote the stories to keep the flame. We've done us proud to come this far, down through the years to where we are, side by side, hand in hand. We've lived and died for this great land. We've done us proud. We've done us proud. I worked the factories. I worked the land. I built the houses. I made the plans. I drive the highway. I right the wrong. I reach for glory. I sing the songs. We've done us proud to come this far. 200 years to where we are, side by side, hand in hand. We've lived and died for this great land, great land. We've done us
I smoke, I swear. They say I'm the sheep of Scrubby Creek. But I don't care. All together now, Ronnie.
Now I have a good yodeling sweetheart. You wait for me.
Dave up for this one.
Her hair is the gold of the honey. Her voice is clear as the bell.
There's going to be a wedding whether you agree or not. And if you try to get away, my darling, you'll get shot. And made the preparation for the wedding too.
Chad Morgan was definitely Don's favourite. I have a poem that I'd like to read from Don's nephew Shane Barrett, who's unable to be here today. House of Many Eyes. Life is hard, don't give up, settle in, for now life goes on. God will even things out. Every road travelled has its purpose. For your own life's journey back to one's inner self. Keep your eyes on your future and some glorious times to come. Thank you, Shane. The family have asked me on their behalf to sincerely thank the staff at Yamuna Park for their care and support. They did an amazing job. Also, a heartfelt thanks to those who have sent flowers, messages, Facebook posts and made phone calls. Thank you so much for your kindness. They would like to express their gratitude to you, whether it be in person or by live stream, for being here with them today to farewell Don. They would like to invite you to join them here at Parkside for refreshments following the service. Today we say goodbye to Don, but we also give thanks for his life, for the memories, the laughter, the stories that will be shared for years to come. For his family, this is a time of both grief and gratitude. The sadness of loss sits heavy, but so too does the comfort of knowing Don is now at peace, free from the struggles that burdened him in recent years. Hold close to the moments you shared, the lessons he taught without ever needing to speak them, the importance of resilience, determination and loyalty. May those memories bring you comfort in the days ahead. May you find peace in knowing that Don lived on his own terms and that he's now resting peacefully after a long and full journey. Sadly, we've come to the part of the service where we have to say goodbye. It is now time for the committal. Please stand if you are able. To everything there is a season, a time to every purpose on earth, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to mourn, and a time to rejoice. Tenderly and reverently we commit the body of Donald George Bakes to the purifying elements and ultimately to Mother Earth, from which all things come and to which all things in life return. May you rest in peace, Don. We'll be leaving the service today via the double doors at the front. Don's family will be taking him for his final ride in his old 1940 Bedford truck and returning to the top car park at Parkside, where if you wish, you can have the opportunity to have a final beer with Don. There will be a cuppa served for those who wish to stay in the chapel here. Can I stress that it is only the family going with Don on his Bedford truck? Thank you.
He sends his pure, sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove. When troubles surround us, when evils come, the body grows weak, the spirit grows numb. When these things beset us, He doesn't forget us. He sends down His love on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow white dove. He sends His pure, sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove. When Noah had drifted on the flood many days, He searched for land in various ways. Troubles he had some, but wasn't forgotten. He sent him his love on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow white dove. He sends his pure sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow white dove. He sends his pure sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove.
They had my future wrapped up in a parcel, and no one even thought of asking me. The day I turned 15, I caught the mail train to find what else might be in life for me. I rode on trucks and trains and lived on nothing. Served me right for wanting to be free. Ah, well, that's the way society looked at it, but it didn't seem to be that way to me. And the biggest disappointment in the family was me, the only twisted branch upon our good old family tree. I just couldn't be the person they expected me to be, and the biggest disappointment in the world was me. A lot more dinner times than there were dinners. I learned a lot that hurt me at the time. Then this quiet country boy went home a different man, with a memory of distance on my mind. But I always spoke too loud and laughed too often, maybe drank too many glasses down, and perhaps my clothes were older than I realized. A relief to all concerned when I left town. And the biggest disappointment in the family was me, the only twisted branch upon our good old family tree. I just couldn't be the person they expected me to be, and the biggest disappointment in the world was me. Disappointment in the family was me, the only twisted branch upon our good old family tree. I just couldn't be the person they expected me to be, and the biggest disappointment in the world was me. They had my future wrapped up in a parcel, and no one even thought of asking me. The day I turned 15, I caught the mail train to find what else might be in life for me. I rode on trucks and trains and lived on nothing. Served me right for wanting to be free. Ah, well, that's the way society looked at it, but it didn't seem to be that way to me. And the biggest disappointment in the family was me, the only twisted branch upon our good old family tree. I just couldn't